Hey, this is Jeff, and welcome back to Oblivion Remastered. We're currently at the Arcane University.
You have my ear, citizen.
Last time we heard a rumor that Bothiel might be hiring, and Brett's going to apply. Get a sneak peek at the grounds, and make friends in high places.
I'll pay handsomely if you can procure the items in that list. Find me everything on there, and you'll be well compensated. Good day.
Wow. Straight to the point. Brett likes her already. Yes, ma'am. I'll be back before you know it.
Bye.
Bothiel was attempting to acquire parts from Morrowind to repair the Orrery, but the shipment was stolen by bandits. Dwarven technology and architecture are much more common in Morrowind and Skyrim than in Cyrodiil, although the Orrery itself is of Dwarven origin, hence the need to order replacement parts from abroad. The only known location for the bandits is Camp Ales, but of course it turns out that they scattered them around to make life harder for the Imperial Watch. It looks like the Brina Cross Inn is our closest fast travel marker. I like to imagine that the point of divergence from the challenge run was Brett thinking, in another life I might have run straight to Coral to find Uriel's last heir, but if I want to stay out of prison and be a fancy schmancy wizard with an official title and everything, I have to stop going through life like a bull in a china shop. Which I think is a fairly reasonable role-playing justification for playing with a bit more patience and subtlety than I did in the challenge run. And the idea that ingratiating herself with the bigwigs at the university might accelerate the acceptance process is 100% the kind of thing that would pass for subtle in Brett's mind. And we're almost there, so... Excuse me? Oh, a random wolf. I was afraid the bandits had already outwitted me. Of course, the combat alerted them. I think the ones labeled carrier have the parts we need. Yeah, Dwarven Cog. But there are usually a few more bandits in each camp. What's the undelivered letter? Right. The locations of the other camps where they have the rest of the parts. And Brett is considerably less inclined to leave survivors than some of the other characters I play. These guys messed with the Mages Guild and they're gonna pay. Dunmer. What do we have that isn't a fire spell? No, that's a minor problem. Apparently the save I started from was before I made custom spells for everyday use. Shocking Touch should be good enough, though.
Fall before me, Breton!
Yeah, in the original challenge run I had quite an array of custom spells, some situational and some general purpose. After I'm done looting, I'm going to run home and do that again, because our starting spells are a bit on the weak side, and a lot of them are cast on touch. Getting up close and personal isn't ideal when you don't wear armor. Okay, spells made, loot sold, back to Camp Ales. This is the closest location to the other bandit camps, and even better, it's daytime, so we can see what we're doing. I didn't reproduce my entire repertoire from the challenge run, but I did play the hits. Radar, which is detect life in a 100-foot radius for 30 seconds, open lock variants for every difficulty of lock, and Zap, which should one-shot most level 1 enemies. Some of them might take 2. I'll worry about bosses as they come up, but Zap should be more than adequate for the foreseeable future. This deer is being surprisingly chill. There he goes. They usually don't let you get within 50 yards of them. There is an item in one of the DLCs that's kind of like the Animal Friend perk in Fallout 3 in New Vegas, but it's a piece of armor, so sadly Brett won't be using that. What was that? An imp? And there's a wolf. Good. I don't know if I replicated Zap exactly as it was in the original challenge run, but it's close enough. Yeah, that was an imp. Like I say, it should one-shot most level 1 enemies, but the magicka cost is low enough that I can basically cast it forever. Fooled by non-harvestable plants again. I also don't have a full supply of potions. I don't know why I saved before I did all that, but I have a few homebrew restore fatigue potions left over from getting the energy drink empire up and running, and I had enough ingredients for a few more restore magicka potions. I have a handful of vanilla restore health potions, but I need to keep an eye out for ingredients to brew my own, because if things go sideways, I could run out in a hurry. I'll probably make a run down to the island by the old bridge at some point, right across the lake from the Imperial City waterfront. There are a crazy number of the exact plants you need for restore health and restore magicka potions within fairly easy walking distance of there. And we're not quite as close to the next camp as I thought we were. Although, we might be pretty close. Maybe right over this ridge, in fact.
Well, well. Look who we've got here. This!
That was the carrier. Another dwarven cog. The other one have anything good? Apparently there's a third. Hello. Don't know how I missed them. Weak potion of healing. Nice. The back of my mind is saying there's some kind of glitch with Dagny's camp. Something to do with one of the master trainer quests or something. Like if you're looking for the trainer and the orrery parts at the same time, the bandits can kill the trainer, maybe? I'm not sure, so don't quote me on that. Random wolf ran interference for me there. Dwarven coherer.
Your presence here will not be tolerated. Die, damn you!
These guys are surprisingly tough. Oh. Or they're no tougher than normal, but I still had an open lock spell active from unlocking the chest at Dagny's camp. Much better. Took me way longer than it should have to realize that's not lightning coming out of my fingertips. Flax, need that for potions. No loot bags or chests? Really? Ah, there's a chest. Also locked. Prepare an open lock spell, and don't forget to set it back this time. Aloe vera. Can use that for restore health potions. Kind of surprised to see it out here. It grows all over the place down by the coast around Anvil, but it gets rarer the further north you go. Don't remember what mandrake root is for, but no reason not to harvest it. I love it when I need some special purpose potion and I look in the cupboard and cool, I already have everything I need to brew it. And the last bandit camp is basically right here, it looks like.
Hello? Who's there?
Dwarven tube. And somebody's still really pounding us. Yes, I know that was the last artifact. Well, they had an archer in back, which they often do. I'm glad we got here before dark. Barely.
You have them? The items I requested? Give them to me, please. Yes, this seems to be everything. Here's your reward. Thank you again.
You're welcome. So, about admission to the university. I was wondering... Okay. Well, Brett's a little bit disappointed that this job didn't give her a leg up, but she also appreciates Bothiel being no nonsense and wanting to get right to work on her project. But we're not getting past the lobby until we get the recommendations from all of the guild halls. Someday soon, I will be in there, and who knows what secrets await me. And speaking of recommendations, Cheydinhal is next on the list alphabetically. One somewhat overlooked feature of Frostcrag Spire is that the balcony outside the bedroom has teleporters to all the guild halls. Not that it's a secret or anything, just that it's a little quality of life thing that gets overshadowed by flashier stuff like the altars and the alchemy garden.
Gonradhel sure does have a knack for training dogs. I've heard that she will train people as well, for a price.
She's a very demanding teacher. You can learn a lot from her if you're willing to try.
I see. Heard any news from the other provinces?
Nothing
If
I'd
there
like
is
to talk about.
anything I can
Goodbye.
do, I am humbly at your service.
What is it, associate? Don't tell me you're here for a recommendation.
I am.
Don't waste my time if you're not ready for this. Are you prepared to do what is necessary to gain a recommendation from me?
I am.
Very well. We shall see how prepared you actually are. There was a particular ring of burden I was testing some time ago. Another stupid associate somehow got his hands on it and managed to misplace it. If I didn't know better, I'd say he purposely tossed it down the well behind the guild hall. Why he would do such a thing is beyond me. You will retrieve this ring for me. Should you manage to do so, I shall consider sending a recommendation to the university. The well is locked, so you'll need the key. Deetsan should have a copy of it. Now get moving.
Okay, will do.
Find someone else to bother, won't you?
And here's Deetsan.
I'm Deetsan, magician, Mage's guild, that is.
I'm here for a recommendation. Falcar said to ask you for a key?
Don't tell me Falcar's given you the same task he gave Vidkun. Oh, dear, I'd say more, but... Well, Falcar is the ranking member here, and I don't feel comfortable talking about him. I'm sorry. I'll tell you what. Find me when Falcar's not around, and then we'll talk. After we've spoken, you can have the key. Believe me, this is important.
Well, all right. I guess I will do that.
Take care.
Falcar and Deetsan are set to sandbox in the same area, so we might have to wait until they go to bed. But if we hang around a while and get lucky, they might move far enough apart that she'll talk to us.
Anything to help her girls out.
There he goes.
She recently
This
got
might be our
Arcane out of
chance.
a bind, and I hear it wasn't completely within
You're
her
a
view.
sneaky-looking sort.
No.
I hope I can help.
Change in the well water
Are you willing to talk now?
tastes strange to me.
We can talk, so long as Falcar is out of earshot. If I didn't know any better, I'd say he's trying to get you killed. He gave poor Vidkun the same task, and we never saw him again. I'm reasonably sure there's a connection, but I can't prove it. Do be careful. I'd hate to lose another useful associate. Here's the key, and something extra. I don't know if it will be of use to you, but from what I've heard of Falcar's ring, it may come in handy. And if you find out anything about what happened to Vidkun, let me know, will you?
Of course. What can you tell me about Vidkun? Anything that might be a clue?
He was an associate, just like yourself. Perhaps not the brightest, but very eager. He was given his assignment from Falcar and disappeared. It's like he dropped out of existence. No one knows what happened, and Falcar won't say a word about it.
Gotcha. Well, thanks.
Goodbye.
The well where Falcar said Vidkin might have dropped the ring is right behind the guild hall. It's underwater, which is why Deetsan gave us a water-breathing scroll, but that's not the real dirty trick. Much like the test of courage in the dream world, I'm going to wait until I'm almost out of breath before I use the scroll, just to maximize our search time. Well, I thought Vidkin was over here, but I don't see him. Better use the scroll, which, fortunately, you can read underwater. Well, I already gave away part of what's going on because Vidkin drowned down here, which is why nobody's seen him since. Well, there he is. I'm pretty sure his body floated in the original, although there's a very good reason it shouldn't. The real dirty trick is that Falcar's ring is a ring of burden that weighs 150 pounds. And you can't swim if you're over-encumbered, but Falcar didn't count on the new associate traveling quite as light as Brett. We have plenty of spare capacity for the ring without even using any magic. I don't think there's anything else down here, so let's get out of here before Deetsan's scroll wears off. Which it was just about to. No sign of Falcar, which is mildly suspicious.
I'm afraid some things have happened while you've been gone, Associate. It may affect your recommendation.
In what way? I don't like the sound of that.
I'll admit, it's my doing. I couldn't leave well enough alone, and after you'd left to go after that ring, well, I'm just so tired of the way we've all been treated by Falcar. I was worried about you and angry about Vidkin, so I confronted Falcar directly. He was furious when I told him I'd helped you, and then when I threatened to report him to the Council of Mages, I thought he was going to kill me. He flew into a rage. I didn't even understand some of his ranting, but he said that our days are numbered, and then he stormed out. I don't know if he ever wrote your recommendation. I'm sorry. I didn't expect this to happen. Perhaps you should go look and see if he did write one. You should check his room in the living quarters. If you see the note or anything else unusual, let me know. I'll gladly send it to the council.
I will do that, but I found Vidkin. He's dead.
It's such a shame. He didn't deserve to die like that.
I also found Falcar's ring. That's what killed Vidkin.
Oh, just drop it anywhere. I don't think he really cared about it. I think it was some sort of sick joke on his part.
That's an understatement. All right, I'll search Falcar's room.
Be seeing you.
I like how this quest starts off like it's one of the frivolous tasks Carahill warned us we'd be given at some of the other guild halls, but it escalates in a hurry and actually foreshadows the plot of the main Mages Guild questline once you get to the university. We'll need a spell to get into Falcar's dresser, inside which we will find something that I don't think you can run into prior to this quest. Black soul gems. Ordinary soul gems let you trap the essence of a creature and use it to craft or recharge magic items, but they don't work on any of the playable races, humans, elves, orcs, Argonians, or Khajiit. Black soul gems do, although at this point in the game we don't know that yet. And their presence in Falcar's dresser is a huge red flag. Yes, I know we should report it to Deetsan, thank you. In the original, if you knew what they were for and decided to keep them and use them instead of turning them in, it broke the quest big time.
How goes it?
What's this? Black soul gems? Oh dear, this is worse than I'd expected. All right, I'll just take these from you. I'll need them for my report to the council. Now, you didn't find any sort of recommendation? Very well. I shall write one myself and include it in my report to the council. In light of the circumstances, I believe they'll find it more than adequate.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Farewell.
Be seeing you.
Goodbye.
Cheydinhal was really pretty in the original, and it's even more lovely now. I'm actually going to keep Falcar's ring and stash it in a container at home. I don't have any specific situation in mind, but reverse pickpocketing a ring of burden onto an NPC could theoretically come in handy to immobilize a dangerous enemy. Or just for pranking NPCs. Here's a regular soul gem, by the way. I have all of the tower upgrades now, and the bedroom furniture came with one. I'll go into more detail about how they work when I start using them, but I'm not even sure if I have a soul trap spell at the moment. The Pentamagic loop came with the jewelry box. It's a nice ring, but not that useful for Brett since Conjuration is the only one of those skills that isn't already 100. There are a handful of skills that do gain additional benefits if you buff them past 100, but magic skills don't. Items we'll be enchanting later can go in here, just so we don't get them mixed up. This is mildly embarrassing. I was just admiring the view from the balcony. Imperial City off to the south, and Bruma to the west. Cloud Ruler Temple, which we don't know about yet, to the north of that. You know, Bruma, the closest city to my tower, which starts with B, which last I checked comes before C as in Cheydinhal. So let's pop down there and get a recommendation. And maybe a remedial spelling course.
Why, hello there. You must be new. Oh, it's so nice to see new faces in the guild. If you ever need anything, just let me know. I have friends in all sorts of high places, you know, so I can get things done that others can't. And if I can do anything for you, I'd be happy to. Someday, maybe you could return the favor.
If you could write me a letter of recommendation, I would be more than happy to return the favor.
A recommendation? From me? Well, of course. Raminus would naturally want my opinion, wouldn't he? This is a situation we can both benefit from, associate. You do me a small favor, and I'll happily send along a glowing recommendation. If you can find Jaskar, I'll write the recommendation immediately.
Okay. Who's Jaskar?
He's disappeared. I mean, he's really disappeared. No one here has seen him in days. Volonaro thinks maybe a spell backfired. If someone from the council were to stop by and find him gone, it'd look bad for me. I can't have that. Talk to the mages here and see what you can find out. If you can make Jaskar reappear, you'll have your recommendation.
Okay, I'll see if I can find him. Thanks.
Please come find me as soon as you've located Jaskar.
If you haven't guessed already, this is one of the frivolous tasks Carahill warned us about. A little bit of detect life. Looks like she's the only person upstairs at the moment.
My name is Selena Arania. I'm a Mage's Guild journeyman.
My pleasure. Have you seen Jaskar?
Look, I like you and all, but I really don't want to get in the middle of this. If Volonaro and Jaskar want to have their fun, fine. I'm not going to participate, and I'm not saying another word about it. Take it up with them.
I will, thanks. But I can't help noticing there seems to be an invisible person in your room. Kinda strange, don't you think?
Good day.
Is it him? Yep.
Go away. You'll ruin everything.
And that does not count as finding him, so let's talk to Volonaro.
Volonaro, at your service. Need a spell? Need an item recharged? Need a witty practical joke played on someone? I can handle it all.
Speaking of practical jokes, what are you and Jaskar up to, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, Jeanne has you looking for him, does she? I'm afraid you're not going to find him easily. I think, a spell backfired. That's probably it.
Good at keeping secrets, huh?
You too.
I said this Brett was going to be more subtle than her alternate in the original challenge run, but that's a pretty low bar.
What?
No, I'm not gonna kill him.
Go ahead.
Thanks to the comments for pointing out a neat trick with the persuasion minigame. The disposition penalty for talking to someone with a weapon drawn lets you raise it higher than you'd be able to otherwise.
That's just not funny.
So his disposition tops out at 77 with Brett's current speechcraft skill. But
Bye.
put our weapon away and talk to him again.
It's my pleasure. Please continue. For you, of course.
Now it's 87. I love learning new stuff about a game I've been playing 20 years, so thanks again for the tip.
You want to find Jaskar? All right, I think I can help with that. But you have to agree to do something for me first. And whatever you do, you can't tell Jeanne about it, all right?
Maybe. What is it?
That's the spirit. You help me pull off a little prank, and I'll help you find Jaskar.
And what would this prank involve?
Really? You're going to love this. I'll teach you a spell to unlock things. What you need to do is get into Jeanne's desk and bring me her manual of spellcraft, okay? Her room is upstairs. Make sure no one sees you. You do that for me, and I'll make sure you can find Jaskar.
I already had a full suite of open lock spells. I didn't really need that cluttering up my spell book. And I'm not sure pranking the person I want to write me a letter of recommendation is a great idea either. I'll see ya.
Let me know when you're done with that little task.
What I'm going to do instead is find somebody to sell me a cheap dispel spell. Ooh, but first I'm going to go take a look at the newly repaired Orrery. There's really nothing to this, so it's not a major distraction. Nothing to the quest objective, I mean. The Orrery itself is pretty cool. And the reward is kind of unusual. The Orrery works a bit like shrines or doomstones. You touch it and get some kind of blessing, but the specific blessing you get depends on the alignment of the stars.
Yes.
That is, every in-game month it's something different. The blessings themselves are new, but similar in concept to what you get from Doomstones. A power you can cast once per day, or a buff to your stats, that kind of thing. Let's talk to Bothiel and get this thing up and running. It's not fully operational yet. Once it is, this console is where you get the blessing. Right now, it's an impressive but static dwarven machine.
Go ahead, please.
No, there's no dialogue option about it. Okay.
Goodbye.
I guess we get to do the honors. I had forgotten that. And the Orrery is now activated. I don't know much about Elder Scrolls astronomical lore, but this universe is not constructed exactly like ours. I can barely keep basic stuff straight. Cyrodiil is a political boundary, the capital province of the Empire, on the continent of Tamriel, on the planet of Nirn, which is sometimes used interchangeably with Mundus, but I think Mundus is actually a pocket of mortal reality which encompasses Nirn and its moons. Once you start talking about how that fits into the larger universe, planes of Oblivion and such, I'm like, it's magic. I'm sure there's some kind of internal logic to it, but my main question is, who do I need to kill to get home? I mean, that's not just me channeling Brett. One of the things I love about the franchise is how the unreliable narrator is king. Different in-game sources will make wildly different claims about the same place or event.
Hello, associate.
And what's the blessing we got? There we go. Fortify speed 20 points at the cost of 20 points of strength. Less of a downside for Brett than it would be for a melee weapon user, but it's still a pretty steep trade-off. But now that we have Fortify attribute and Drain attribute effects in our repertoire, we can use them to make custom spells. So as far as Brett's concerned, that's the real benefit of that blessing.
Edgar Vautrin, you don't want the very best. You want cheap. And I got cheap.
That's very perceptive, Edgar. Sadly, Edgar didn't have one, but Calendil does. Bit pricey, but we need it, so go ahead.
Thank you. Come again. Good day.
It was cast on self, so we need to go create a custom version to cast on Jaskar. I prefer dispel potions for use on self because half the time what I need to dispel is being silenced or stunted magicka or something that prevents you from casting spells. So a dispel spell won't work, but a potion will. Dispel on target is situational, but might come in handy beyond making Jaskar visible. Like if an enemy has a shield spell up or some particularly nasty buff we want to remove. 100 points on target is as general purpose as we can make it. Call it Dispel Anything. And back to the Bruma Guildhall.
Hi there. Did you hear about Braden?
Oh, come on. You couldn't even follow through with getting that book from Jean's room? That would have been hilarious. Well, fine. You go tell Jeanne you found me. You're the big hero. Whoopee! I'm going back to work. I was tired of being see-through anyway.
Found him, did you? Well, I suppose that's good. You've fulfilled your end of the bargain, so now I'll fulfill mine. Raminus will have my recommendation. Let's just keep this incident between us, okay? It might make a bad impression.
All right, this is a good place to save and call it a day. I went on a brief vacation last week in real life, which included touring the Fallout shelter under the Greenbrier Resort. I haven't played Fallout 76, but I understand the Greenbrier and the bunker are key locations in the game. And it's totally a real thing. It was built in the late 1950s to house Congress in the event of a nuclear war, exposed and almost immediately decommissioned in the 90s, and now it's a tourist attraction. I highly recommend it, even if you're not a Fallout fan. Anyway, my point was, I didn't have time to make any progress on the modding side of things with Oblivion Remastered, so that's it. As always, thanks for watching. Leave a comment if you have questions or suggestions. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications if you haven't already, and I'll see you soon.